Hello everyone, my name is Rajesh Kumar and I'm your DevOps, SRE, DevSecOps coach. I have close to 18 plus years of experience working in multiple MNCs around the globe and having in-depth knowledge of DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. So I would like to introduce you one certification program in a DevOps, and that is we call it DevOps Certified Professional. Now this is a 2 months of program, 25 tools of DevOps you will learn, and apart from that you will also get the access to the LMS, lifetime access to the videos portal. It's a certification program, and you will have 25 assignments and 2 projects along with it. It's a completely weekend program, so here you have classes on Saturday and Sunday. So as part of this course, you will learn multiple things. Here you see that you will learn Linux, AWS, Docker, Jira, Confluence, Python, Git with GitHub, SonarQube, Maven, Gradle, Packer, Artifactory, Selenium, JMeter, Ansible, Kubernetes, Helm, Terraform, Jenkins, Datadog, Splunk, and New Relic. Now, how do we, apply for this? So how can you reach out to us? So you have a WhatsApp number and email ID. So please reach out to us, and we'll help you to onboard this program. Apart from this DevOps certified professional programs, we are offering other certifications as well in a DevSecOps, SRE, and one of the very comprehensive programs which we have is in Master in DevOps Engineering. Yeah, so feel free to get in touch with us and then enroll for it. Thank you. If you remember that last session which we did on Datadog, and Datadog primarily it was for infra monitoring, but you saw that Datadog is a complete observability platform. So similar to Datadog, we have Splunk. Splunk also you can do complete observability, but Splunk is mainly focus on data management, data analysis. Okay, so sorry, log analysis. Datadog was primarily focused on infra. New Relic primarily focus on APM, which is tomorrow sessions, and Splunk primarily focuses on the log. Though in a current format of Splunk, all tools can do everything. Okay, but in this session, more or less, we'll be focusing on log analysis. So let's get started. So most of us we ignore the log analysis, thinking that okay, we have infra monitoring already in place, the place where we host the infrastructure, we are having sufficient matrices and stats and all kind of things. So typically we ignore those stuff. So that is a common mistake. Sometimes you do the huge mistake, and sometimes you say okay, we don't have a time and stuff like that. Suddenly system is failed, and you did not get any alerts. Everything seems to be fine, infra, disk space, CPU, RAM, and all. And then you realize that okay, system is hacked. You understand that system is not being hacked in one day. It takes years to hack. Slowly they will get into your system. I try to, you know, find a scope of hacking and things like that. So this hacking happens in a year, and you ignore the log analysis, ignore all the important stats which you can get it, and it's being hacked now. So then you realize that mistake what you got into that problem with, and so on. So what is log? So anything you do on the information technology systems, anything, in fact, you are seeing my screen or not, that is being recorded somewhere. Okay, so everything what we do in the system is being recorded, and that is generating a logs. Okay, so data generated by machines, computer processing applications, and sensor data is called log. There are many sources for the logs like IDs, firewall, anti-malware, proxies, network servers, database applications, and so on. So some of the logs you can get it from the Linux log, Windows log, some log files, applications access, file system, and so on. Network logs include firewalls, warning, alerts, IP addresses. Database logs, audit logs, configurations, schemas, tables, queries. and things like that. Web transaction logs, click stream logs, location logs, browser logs, time logs, DevOps logs, IoT logs, and so much. So in nutshell, whatever the system you see, whatever applications, platform, network, IoT devices, everywhere log is being generated. The only thing is like how do we analyze it? Okay, so that is something. So then you'll ask why this log analysis is important. So one of the reason we discuss like security, but there are many other reasons are also available. One of the reasons which we are looking in a DevOps is like production monitoring and debugging purpose. We want to see the logs. So whenever we debug, we want to have infrastructure matrices, APM traces, logs, synthetic, and RAM all this thing at one place. So troubleshooting and post-mortem in SRE will become easy. Correct now, all of you? Resource uses, if you want to trace logs, is the best place to know. HTTP errors, some slow queries in database, ROG automated robots, security issues, and many more. Okay, you want to tracking your site platform visitors, you can do the log monitoring. If you want the situational awareness and new threat discovery, network and security infrastructure, if you want to get more valuables, extracting what is actionable automatically, and security matrices, trends, and so on, and compliance, incident response, of course. So these are the some of the areas why we do the log analysis. Are you understanding, all of you? All of you? Hello?
Yeah, Rajesh.
So what I'll be teaching you, I'll teach you how to set up Splunk. I'll teach you how to read the logs using the universal forwarder agent and stored in the Splunk. I'll teach you how to search the Splunk. So these are the things I'll teach you. But what to find in the Splunk, that I cannot teach you. This is completely depends on your requirement. For example, I'll put it in this way. Did anyone taught you what to search in Google? No. In a daytime, you 100 times you go to the Google and try to find out something. So that comes by not by instructing someone else, but it's coming from you based upon a requirement. So Splunk is like a Google for all of your logs generated in your infrastructure, and what information you want to extract from that you can decide. Are you understanding? So but for learning purpose, you have to get started with something. So let's say if you want to collect the logs, what you want to search for it. So you may search for it to in order to learn password changes, unauthorized login failures, new login events, malware detections, firewalls open port and close port, DDoS attack, network errors, file name changes, data exported from database if it is a new process running on started, and many more as such. So this is just for getting you the get started. By the way, let's put it up in this way. If I ask you to find out the password changes, forget about the query. Think about the algorithm. Give me the algorithm which will help you to locate the password changes in your uh, Splunk database. What logic you will use it? Let's say you are collecting the Windows log and you need to find out all the logs where the password has been changed. How do you find out? Think and tell me, all of you. All of you. Hello.
Can I repeat the question, Rajesh, please?
Now, question is very simple. Give me the logic only. I'll give you millions of log of windows, and I'll ask you to find out the logs. Give me the reports of logs where the password has been changed. What would you start searching for?
Invalid. I mean, whatever the error you're going to get it, that is the string you need to check the logs.
Password changes. So in that is where you need to know the system well. Searching a Windows, you need to know Windows well. Linux well. Apache well. Tomcat well. You need to be pro in that tool actually. Okay, so for example, Windows, that is very easy. You understand the event viewer. So here, if I'm at your place, password changes. So I'll see that Windows event ID for password changes. I will search for all the lines, all the logs, which has this 4724. Got it? E- Event viewer, you know that Windows, right? All of you.
Yeah, Rajesh.
So like that, let me ask you one more question. Let's say attack is happening on my website, and I'll give you Apache logs. I'll ask you, hey, get me the IP address from that DDoS attack is happening. What is the logic you will follow?
Again, the same string where you get the log, Apache log.
But the logic.
Uh,
So I'll
create
try
a
to,
create a string
yeah,
for
please.
SPL.
No. Logic is DDoS attack means one IP is creating lots of traffic on my website. You need to understand the nature of DDoS attack. You need to be expert in DDoS attack. So simple logic would be all the logs coming from the source IP, too many requests from the same IP address in 1 minute may causing the DDoS attack. Correct now? So you need to find out the Apache log where the too many requests is coming from the same IP address, and then you need to block that IP address at the network level, something like that. So yeah, logic is important in order to analyze the logs. So these are some of the common fields you will have in the logs: time, source, destination, protocol, ports, username, and so on. What are the best practices for log analysis? See, we are using tools called Splunk. Last day we use for Datadog. Next tool we will use Neuralink. Nowadays, all these best practices is incorporated in these tools, but still for the discussion purpose, your tool will be supporting the pattern detection recognition. That means, see, I have a millions of log. I would love if I get the pattern, unique pattern for my logs, like info, error, debug, warning, something like that. Because I cannot read the millions of log, but pattern I can read it easily. So that should be supported by tool. Normalizations. Normalization means, let's say there's Apache log from India server and from USA server. The time format for India will be differ, USA will be differ. If you store in the Splunk and if you search by time, the results will be different. So can we convert the timestamp to India or USA, whichever way you comfortable? One timestamp, so result will be more better, and that is what we call normalizations. Tagging and classifications. So Apache log from the web server or microservices 1, Apache log from microservices 2. How do we differentiate which microservices has generated this Apache log or this SQL log? So that is where the tagging will help us, and tool should be helping you for tagging also. Correlation analysis. See, if you make a request to any website like amazon.com or facebook.com, You are using so many microservices, maybe 10, 15 throughout your sessions. So now each microservices, what you have done it, you as an individual user, how do you trace it? How do you correlate it? So that is where that correlation analysis required. Most of the things is done by session ID. If session ID is unique to all of your microservices, that is something which you have to do, understand this. And the last one is correlation, artificial ignorance, where some lines can be ignored, not everything has to be stored, and the tool should be supporting that. So Splunk does support that. So yeah, these are the 5 features which you can practice for log analysis. So how do we start it? So collect the log, clean the log, convert into structure format, analyze the data, and obtain the results. These are the things we do. What are the tools we have for the log analysis? Splunk is the leading one. Many other tools are also there, like New Relic, Datadog, and many more. Okay, so this is something which is Splunk. I'll just ignore some of the slides, not required right now. Yeah. Mm, this is a simple architecture, not complicating with the too much of data, so you get confused. This is the simplest architecture. Just a second. This laptop is not having 10 minutes of backup. I'm shocked actually. Okay, so I did it. Can you see my screen, right? All of you?
Rajesh.
All of you?
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah. So I don't want you to get lost in the so much of topic in Splunk, because Splunk over the period of time, in order to serve that in every domains, they have complicated their architecture very much. Even sometime I get lost. So I want you to think a simple way. So look at my screen, all of you, carefully. This is the simple architecture. So here what is happening, this is architecture, how it works. So you see here carefully, the forwarder is kind of agent, like a Datadog agent if you want to compare with the Datadog. So there's a different forwarder for Linux, Windows, Mac, all this thing. Forwarder will collect the data from Windows, Linux, and different sources and send to indexer. Look at this arrow sign. So what is indexer? So indexer, you can say, is storage at a high level. Indexer, why we call it indexer? Because the storage is happening in the inverted index concept. Okay. Now what is inverted index concept? That you can take a note and do the little bit of offline study. So that's the, you can say, is considered as a database where the logs are stored. And after that, this is the one website which you call it a search head. Website means google.com, something like that. Something like you will get it Google. See, this is search head. You can search the index of Google using this one. So something like that. Here you get index search head, and search head will search in the database and you get a results. Are you understanding this one? Hello?
Which is the database you're talking about? Indexer is a
Hello?
database.
Hello?
Yeah, Rajesh, do you hear us?
Yeah.
Which is the database you're talking about? The indexer.
They have inverted index concept. This is the index actually. I am calling database to make you easily understandable, but in reality we call it index. Okay.
Okay.
So this index is a kind of storage for the logs in an inverted concept, inverted index concept. So database like not like MySQL database or something. Got it?
Yeah. Yeah. So the forwarders will forward the data, and the indexer will store the data and index it. Is that correct?
Yeah. So here this forwarder will collect the data first and forward
Okay.
to indexer. Indexer will
Okay.
store the data, and then using the search head you can search the data. That's all. So I need to install this one, and this one. Typically, most of the time, if you are learning, these two things will be together. And forwarder you can install in the same machines if you want it, but separate component. Understood?
Correct.
Look at this here. This is a flow, the one which I explained it to you. Okay. So here, data input, it can be Windows, Linux, some files, this, that, and whatever it is. Okay. And this part and this part, okay, will be done by forwarder. This part will be done by indexer, and this is searching will be search head. Understood? Look at this forwarder, data input, indexer can do the parsing also. Here also heavy forwarder parsing can do indexing and searching. All of you understood this?
So parsing is a functionality done by both forwarder and indexer, or just the indexer?
Okay. So right now, let's not confuse.
Okay.
Right now, let's say parsing and indexing is done by indexer in this
Okay.
image. But you know what? Forwarder is also two type. One is a universal forwarder, one is heavy forwarder. When it's a heavy forwarder, parsing can be done by this one also. But right now I'm not complicating, so you'll get lost in the session. Okay.
What is the
So
name of the
what I
forwarder
want,
you have you? What is that?
yeah,
What is the name of the forwarder you said after the universal one? The second one.
universal and heavy forwarder.
Okay.
Let me just show you types of forwarder
Okay.
in Splunk. See here, this is the heavy forwarder,
Okay. Good.
and universal forwarder. Good image is lacking actually. I have a slides, but too many slides are there.
Okay.
See here. This is a universal forwarder. Okay. So
Yeah.
right now, don't get into that discussion because you will get little confused with it. So here you have a forwarder, indexer, search head. Are you comfortable, all of you? Okay. So now step number one, what I'm going to do in this demo, what I will do, these two guys I will install together, Splunk, and this universal forwarder will be separate package. I'll install. So first thing I'll install this one. Second thing I'll install the universal forwarder. Third thing I will search the database and I'll teach you search techniques. That is something which we have to learn. So let's get started. So go for EC2 instance. Now you need a little bit of heavy operating system. So here I'll launch one machine, and this is a Splunk. Okay. And go for Ubuntu. What should be type? So I'll go for 8 GB RAM minimum, otherwise I'll not be able to show you the demo. And I'll create ppk file, Splunk, and here I need to configure the security groups later. 30 GB is okay for this one machine. Done. So guys, this is something which is Splunk. So let me log in it into this. So here username is Ubuntu, I guess. Yeah, Ubuntu, and I'll become a root. Now the first step, guys, what I'm doing right now. Step number one, install Splunk server. Now this will play two things, indexer and one is searcher. Two things will have together. You can separate the component also, but for learning purpose, that is more than important. Step two, install universal forwarder, and this will get the data. Step three, I'll teach you search techniques. Search technique. Okay. So this is the three things we will learn now. So let's get started. So go to my blog. You can go to the Splunk website also, but installation, I mean login, registration, I don't like, and most of the things I think you'll be having automated. So just to save time, this is heavy universal Splunk server. This I need it. So here I'll save time because you can go to the website also and do the stuff, but this is something I'll save time. So here if you see it's a Linux one, here you have a Windows one. This is a server. Okay, so can we download this? So here 901 901 Linux. This is also tarball. This is what is the difference between this? So same, no? Okay, so tarball download file, RPM file, Debian file, Ubuntu, and MSI file. I'll go for the tarball. Okay, so go to OPT, download this. You can go to the website and download it after registration, but this will save time instead of struggling here and there. Now tar-jet xvf, done. So this is a Splunk server, remember. Port number is 80, so that's okay. Done. Now I need to start this Splunk server. Go down. Here all the commands are there. Primarily, if you have a tarball, you can run and start this command. Okay. So here you can untar, and if you have a RPM, install it and start this. So let me start this. So go to Splunk. Okay. And now go to the bin directory, and so many utilities are there. Only Splunk I need it. Start it. Now if you want to set up a username and password for installation, you can set it up admin and admin 123 admin 123. That means if you want to change the future combination, this user ID and password is required. Now my Splunk is active on 8000 port number. So what I need to do, I thought it's 80, I forgot that. I have to create exceptions for it. So edit 8000. So right now I don't want to complicate all this thing. I'll just open up everything. That's a worst practice. But right now I don't want you to get lost in this port number too many. So done. I open up just for learning purpose. Later on you can learn this. So what is the IP address? Here you have this one and 8000 port number. Username admin123. So here ADMIN123. So now guys, this is your google.com for your organizations. That means anything which is happening, you can search for, let it come here. Understood? All of you?
Yeah. Rajesh, is there any major difference between Splunk and Datadog? So, in which situation we have to prefer, to use Datadog or Splunk? Is there any kind of specifications or environment specification?
No, actually, see, very straightforward answer.
Yeah.
Datadog is very powerful in terms of infrastructure monitoring. Splunk is very powerful in terms of log monitoring, log analysis. New Relic is very powerful in terms of APM. That was 10 years before, 8 years before. Okay.
Mhm.
Now what has happened? What has happened? Everyone is offering every kind of services. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is a problem. So right now I'm teaching you. I'm instead of while designing this course, I was thinking what to do. So what I decided, I let me include everything. At least you have a little bit of comfort level. So if you want to do APM using a Splunk, you can do it with a little effort, something like that. But
Oh,
this session is primarily based on Splunk, I mean log management with a Splunk.
okay.
Got it?
Fine. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
So now here, first step I completed, and this is a search head, the one which I am showing you. Now where is the index? Go to the setting, index. So right now these are the index where the data will be stored. There's one default index which is called main here. Right now nothing is there. Capacity is 500 MB. Why? Because it's a trial account. So if you go for the apply the license, you'll be more. Okay, so this is something which we have a search and reporting search head. So this is the first step. Now second step, what you have to do, install universal forwarder. Okay, so that is the
Rajesh,
second
can you
step.
show the indexer and such it one more time? So you install the server, then how do I go to the index? It doesn't say where is index.
Setting,
Okay.
indexes. Go to setting, indexes.
Okay.
So these are the default set indexer. There's one main which will be used for the default. You can create a more index also.
Okay.
Rajesh, event type or matrix type, and save it. So you can ask to store in this Rajesh index also. Right now index, when I say define, think of is like a kind of database.
Yeah. So do we
Okay.
set the rules like unique primary key, those type of things here?
Yeah, I mean authentication, if it is enabled, it will do that.
No, I'm talking about the index means like it's a unique index, the type of indexes we have, right? So those type of indexes apply here, or it's just like it's just
Index is like a kind of database, but format is inverted index. Take a note of this one. What is inverted index?
okay.
Inverted index. This is a concept for storing the data to avoid searching faster and avoid the storage issues. So this is the concept on which they use it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Whenever you see index, database, Datadog also index they use. Elasticsearch also index they use. So index is having two property. One is like it should be faster searches, and second one storage, less storage. So
Okay.
there are two types of index: forward index and inverted index. In the monitoring world, anywhere you go, in fact, Google uses index for storing all their web searches. Okay, so there is algorithm which you can study later. Got it? Yeah. Okay, so now before going and setting up the universal installer, which will help you to feed the data on the indexer, I want to you to get comfortable with it here. So how do we get the data? Right now I have no data. If you see that here, and you see here all time and search, do we have any data? No data. Nothing is there. Star, nothing is there. See here, zero, no results found. I want to have a data. What to do? So something I want to do is to upload the data. Okay, I have a very lots of data actually lying actually. Uh, okay, lots of data we have it, but that's a little bit older. Let's get the new data. So 33,000 lines we have, right? Save all events and security logs actually for Windows. Okay, CSV format, download location, done. Just wait for a few seconds. Now
So
what
Rajesh,
I'll do,
as yeah,
now what I'll do, you go to setting, and guys, here you see add a data. I clicked on it. Now study this one. How to add a data to Splunk indexer. So many methods are there, guys. Is cool. Do you want to send through cloud? 10 data sources like AWS, Azure, and all stuff like that. Networking, some operating system. But here you want to upload it, that is also possible, CSV format. Do you want to install forwarder, heavy forwarder or universal forwarder, the one which I was talking about? Or if you want indexer to monitor some files or script, that is also done. Means this one only, server itself will run some from run some script and get the data. So right now I am uploading it because I downloaded their CSV format. Select the files,
Why you want to do that,
security.
Rajesh? Already there's a Windows it is creating in one place, right? Instead of searching.
What is that?
Why we need to upload this one? Because the Windows is already generating the log in one place, right? We can directly configure that
Yes,
to the
yes.
Splunk.
You can directly monitor Windows. You see here. Look at this
Okay.
WMI here. But right now, first option I'm showing you, it's easy.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'll set up a second option also.
Thanks.
Now selected this next. What is the data source? So automatically CSV has been converted, and input type, just name it whatever you want to. Do you want to store in the different index? So here you can create a different index, let's say Linux. Oh, sorry, Windows security, and save it. And which host let it be? You want to review, input type, file name, source type, host. From that, an index will be created new and submit. So by default is a main index, but now I stored in the Windows-sec index, separate one. Now you want to search. Here it is. Always search for this one, and you see that how many data you have. So all time, wait for it. Still data is coming. Only one events has happened so far. Wait for it. See, 33,534. Now search for it. Start techniques, search techniques. What you want to search? If you understand this log, security log, understand this. Are you understanding, all of you?
Yeah, Rajesh, what
Yeah,
if
right.
the source, the new search, it has given some wordings, right? Source equal to security.csv, all these things.
These are the fields actually. Here, any data you upload to, this first few fields will be automatically created while uploading it or creating the source. Rest of the fields will be generated based on the format. In fact, you can parsing the one which you are discussing here somewhere here. Parsing means giving into the structured format,
Okay,
non-structure to structure. Right now this was CSV Windows log, so it's a structure all only. But sometime
okay,
you generate a non-structure log, so you have to create a fields automatically by parsing techniques.
okay.
So now you search for it. What do you want to search? Error. See here. So this is the error. Keyword search. Now you want to search two keyword together. See here. Device error. These are the logs. Two logs has come. Two event has come, which has a device log. Here you want to use and. So here you see two logs has come where you have a device and error, or that means give me the logs which has a device or error. See here. So these are the two. I mean, this is the way you can search for. These are some of the search techniques. I'll discuss in detail, but this is how you learn. Got it?
Rajesh, yeah, we can see. But is there any kind of report which we can see? Because this kind of work we can do in a CSV file as well, right? TX to column. Some just I'm trying to tell you. So is there any
Ah,
value addition here by capturing this log in the Splunk? So at least we will have that visibility. What is the difference between Excel CSV and this GUI basically?
see, what is this Splunk? So Splunk, you fed all types of log, okay, and put it at one place, and then you start searching. So it's like enterprise Google, I said, means whatever
Okay.
the applications you have, you can't store it in the Excel sheet and all kind of things. Getting my points?
Yeah.
So here, not only you search, you create alerts, dashboard, reports, some data set transformation, we call it, analytics, and many other features we have, and many other SIM security and all. So
Okay.
many
Yes,
other
I'm yeah.
features we have. Yeah. So that's one of the way to quickest get started. But we have to set up a universal forwarder. So how do we do that? So let me set it up, universal forwarder. So here again you can go to the website, download all this thing. That's a little irritating. So that's the reason I've created my own notes for it. I don't have, during the session I don't have to click here, there, register, confirm, this, that, and all. Okay, so here 9.0 version, and I'm going to download it. So this is the tar file. Let me download it. I'm installing the forwarder in the same machine, though you can install the forwarder in different machine, Windows, Linux, this, that, and all kind of things. Okay. Okay, so now, oh sorry, there is a forwarder. Uh, forwarder. Oh, this is the Splunk file. Forwarder MSI Linux. This is the one. By mistake, I downloaded something wrong file. Done. So here, this is the forwarder. tar hyphen zxv f. Now this forwarder will be in a separate machine, but right now one machine only. I am keeping it everything. Now how do we restart this? So guys, in order to, after downloading the forwarder, you have to do few things. Again, it will be in a recording, so you have to do that carefully. So first thing what you do, okay, first thing what you do, port specification for Splunk server. So check some of the required setting for this. So I know this is not well planned, okay, but I can understand, but you probably will not be able to understand. So that is where that you can check out my recording. It'll be easier for you. So here are some of the prerequisite for adding forwarder. You can read the documentation officially also, but right now, just to save time, this is the notes is sufficient. So here what is happening? Forwarder send the data to Splunk server at a certain port. So that you need to enable it, else you will not be able to accept the data. So what you need to do, go to the setting, monitoring console, setting, forward monitoring setup, and enable this one. So let me do that. So here go to Splunk, setting, and then second one, forwarder and receiving. This is the one. Okay, forwarder and receiving. Sorry, setting, monitoring console, setting. My bad. Setting, monitoring console, and after that, setting and forwarder monitoring setup. So after that, go to the setting, forwarder monitoring setup, and then you click on this one, forwarder monitoring enabled. So enable this 15 minutes, save it. This will take some time to take it effective. Done. So this is the first step you have to do. After that, you have to do this one also, setting, forwarder and receiving. So setting, forwarder and receiving, which is here, and after that, receive data, add new. So receive data, which is here, add new, and the port number on which the uh, forwarder will send the data and server will listen the data. Default port is this one. It should be available. Else you can change the port also. Right now I know that in this machine I'm doing nothing. It's a fresh machine. So save things. Just match this stuff.
How do we know which port the forwarder is sending?
So this you have to decide yourself. Here you are specifying. So here, understand this way. This is a Splunk server and this is the forwarder. So forwarder will send the data to certain port number. So that port
Okay.
you are enabling it here. You can change this port here. You can keep it anything here. This will receive the data on TCP port number 9997. So
Okay.
if this is not available, you can change it something else. And same thing you have to inform here. Hey, don't send to 9997, something else.
So the forwarder will have a config there itself, right? For which port that
Yes,
need to be sent.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
And we know
yes.
which port is already occupied and which is available.
That if you're an admin, you will get to know automatically.
Okay.
You can also net set tool ancestry. You can do that and find out the occupied port.
Okay.
So this is also done. Okay, so this is the second activity done. After that, restart the Splunk. So guys, there is a UI also option which is that you can restart the Splunk. It should be somewhere here. Do you see somewhere? Restart. Okay, I am not able to find it quickly, but I have seen long back. So I will do one thing. Go to Splunk. Go to the bin. CD bin. And here Splunk, what was the command I run last time?
Start, right? That's what you did.
Stop this time. So it will stop and then start one more time. This time you don't have to accept the license because it's a one-time activity. And then start. Done.
Rajesh, this licensing one, you accepted default, right? I mean, just I
First
didn't see
time
that.
accepting
Okay.
license default. If you have a wizard, you select no, I accept license. So using
Yeah,
command line,
yeah.
you have to do that. So now this is done. So now after that, I did this one. Now firewall and all what I did to avoid this complexity, I disable everything. Worst practice, but you'll take a note while setting up for the production. Okay, so now that is done. Now this is the you have to do in server. Now what you have to do in the forwarder, that I'll teach you. So you have extracted it already and go to the bin directory. And these are the commands for starting the forwarder also. Splunk start, stop, restart, help. Now start the forwarder, you have to run this command first time. And if you want to enable at the boot, you can run this command. Not required. This is more than sufficient. So let me run the forwarder now. So go to OPT. Now see forwarder. This is a forwarder actually. Okay. Go to the bin and here and this one admin admin 123 admin 123. This is the forwarder password. Okay. Now
But
here
you start in Splunk only, Rajesh. Where is the forwarder name? You just like start slash Splunk start, right? So
huh,
where is the forward? So
forwarder
you're going
means
to the
you are just
forwarder
starting.
direct.
You will do that. So here you see that one of the forwarder in this same machine I was running. So another forwarder is using 8089 port.
Okay.
Okay. So what you would like to do? Would like to change the port? Yes. So what is the port number? So 8090. I'll keep it. Remember 8090. Done. So forwarder is installed now. So now forwarder is also running. Done. Now you see you set up this one and you set up this one. Now you need to tell forwarder, hey forwarder, this is the one machine. I need to inform forwarder, hey forwarder, take this files log and send it to Splunk server. Understood? I need
Yeah.
to inform forwarder. How do we do that? So that is where this tutorial will be needed for you. Okay. So here I need to add a forwarder. So you can add a forwarder using this one. So carefully command plan for this. This is a command line. Okay. You can modify that through IP address of server, Splunk server. So here then username is admin123. So this command will add a forwarder where to send it. So let me add the forwarder. So done. So guys, I did it, adding the forwarder. After that, I want to list out how many forwarders you have it. So one is there right now inactive. Okay. So inactive, why? Because I have to configure the files also. So here you need to add what you want to monitor. So here I added a forwarder. Now I need to add a monitor what you want to forward it. So I will take that file or directory anything. So var log is the one I want to add it. So here I did it, this file. I did monitoring of this one. Okay. So this is done. Now let me run this command. Now you see it's active. And now all the files, okay, all the files which is inside this var log, it will start reading by forwarder and send you to the Splunk server. Now what you need to do, you need to, let me check this forwarder once it's active or not. And now see active, done. And then after that you may restart it if you want it, though right now not required, to be honest. But if you want to restart it, good to go, done. Now whatever you did through this command line, okay, whatever you did through adding the forwarder and what to monitor, you can do manually also, but where? So there are certain files are there in the etc folder, Splunk forward, I mean under the same folder, input and output, that file you can check it out right now. No need to complicate and stuff like that. So now I'm going to search for it. So can we go for it? So let's see the data. Admin 123. Let me check if the data has come or not. So right now I'm sending to the main indexer. Okay, so go to the setting, indexes, and
Can you
main.
specify the indexer also, which index you need to send the data from the forwarder?
Yes, all this thing you can do that. So here you can, I did not complicate by it because default it was this one, what do you
Main.
say,
Main.
main. But here input and output you can configure it. So there is a file, just a second, find output star. So here these are the files. One of the files which is, I think it's taken this one. Let me check. And no, this is not the one. I think this one. Yeah, you see that here. So here is added, and here this is the forwarder, and input is to be, where is input? There is output, okay? Where to input? So input.cfg, I need to locate. Here it is, this one. Default, I think, or local. I think local. Many input files are there, and this is the input. Now here you, in fact, you can suggest, oh, I want to not stored in the main but something else. So how do you do that? So let me ask you, let me get you this quick, faster through chat gpt. Splunk input dot, what is the file name? Input.conf.
Yeah.
Input.conf, set with indexer named Rajesh. This is the examples you are adding, and they will add it you quickly. You can search in Google for the syntax also. Just indexer is equal to Rajesh or something else. Got it?
So this you're typing in where, Rajesh? In Splunk itself, right?
No, chat GPT.
Okay.
Oh, it's taking too much time actually. I just want the format to be displayed, input format. Here,
Yeah.
this is the one. See here, this is the one line you will add it. So like that you can start searching, because Splunk is not a new technology. It's there from last
Okay.
15 years. Got it?
Got it.
So input and output, whatever I did through command line, input and output, remember that. These are all command lines. This one, I modify input and output. Okay, so done. And now I showed you, look at this here. All the logs is coming to the main. You see that 3.5K lines from the 25 days ago, 60 last update 16 minutes ago, and up. Now you search for it. And here, search, and whatever you want to search, it's up to you. Now here from last 24 hours, if you want to search for main, then it's okay. You can search for error directly. How many errors you have got it? See, 9 events you got it, the error which you collected. But if you want to search for other index, you have to specify in the index name. So what was the creation? I forgot that. Uh, Windows sec, no? Windows sec or something like that. Huh? Windows sec. So here I uploaded, and here you want to search for error like this. Got it? All of you?
If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.